How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday Eve. And by everybody, I mean my one consistent viewer. We're gonna be back to working on the Zanshi miniature for Infinity tonight. And we're just gonna wait. I think I'm gonna start continuing with armor, and then maybe we'll go to like pants and skin tone and hair. So I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it tonight. Let me know how audio is, if you can hear me, if the music is too loud. I had it all dialed in. Things got reset. And then we lost it, so. And my palette paper is already starting to wrinkle. Probably because my sheet is too big. I heard that. Yes. Shit. Also, I might have to switch my brushes midway through the stream because I think these were already on their last leg during our last painting session, and now they probably aren't going to hold paint very well, but we'll see. Or they have too much paint in the ferrule and they're gonna start to like fray on me. How is everybody's week going so far? Hopefully, your week is going good. You're gonna have a not stressful Friday. I'm sure I'm gonna have a stressful Friday. It's because everything's always a rush. But I don't want to bring work problems to the stream. Hit your dashboard directly from your phone, even though I'm doing it from my computer. Twitch is funny. Alright, I think we're just going straight into our mix of colors. Also, let's turn the autofocus off on my camera. Oh, no, okay. I thought I was hearing myself in the background. Let's see here. one, I can move on to other models that I play more often. But also, I've got some plans for some Warcrow that I have that I want to paint, as well as just all of my Infinity armies in general. Like, I have so many Infinity models, it's not even funny. I wasn't looking to acquire as many Infinity models as I have, but getting rid of a Warhammer army, I just happened to acquire more. So I made a trade instead of selling my Warhammer army. Pliers. Normally there's a way tighter fit on this. If I use this. Much better. Howdy. How are you? Hope you're having a good Thursday, good work week so far. We're working more on our Zanshi miniature and the armor. Watching the skeleton? I don't know what that is. What do you mean, the skeleton? Is it like a TV show? Oh, Olympics. Nice. Yeah, I honestly haven't watched any of the Olympics so far. Hasn't really been on my radar of like things to watch. Slide on the ice head first. Oh gosh, that sounds terrifying. Was it like luge or whatever, right? The like downhill. Yeah, luge. Okay, cool. I've always found isn't there like a team version of that where there's like 2 or 3 people in the thing together? Those ones are always kind of interesting. I'm sure the single person ones are faster. I always like watching like the figure skating. Those are always fun to watch. The like skiing and snowboarding, freestyle stuff, those are always fun. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, where it's like 2 or 3 of them together. And then I don't remember for what reason, but there was some people that I was listening to something on the radio where like people were getting really excited about curling this year for some reason. Which I feel like they don't get enough like respect in their ability to like steer that giant stone. Which is maybe what the radio thing that I was listening to was talking about. Like, no, like curling is actually really difficult. curling is definitely one of the more interesting sports as far as like what it entails. Because there's like a lot of physics and stuff involved with the sweeping and like how it melts the ice. Too much water. Make sure I'm in focus. Thank you. This is the one that we worked on a couple weeks ago. We're just slowly working up. I'm going across the whole model this time, working up to the yellow. So it'll be a little bit slow of a process tonight. But when it all comes together, it's all going to come together and look real nice. And then I'm considering potentially a stream over the weekend. Finishing this up. Maybe working on like the pants and the jacket more. I'm just gonna be slowly layering things. But when you do all of the parts one step at a time, you will see it across the whole model. watching the armor not take shape, that's not the word I'm looking for, but watching the armor like become the yellow that it's supposed to be. But we're gonna intentionally keep some spots darker here on this leg because it's all like tucked underneath and everything. Like up under here, we're gonna try to keep it a little bit darker and then bring it lighter toward the front. Where's the light source coming from above? I'm not necessarily doing like object source lighting or like light from above. I'm just kind of highlighting it volumetrically. I guess if there was supposed to be like a light source, it would be kind of from the front above. But I'm just kind of going with vibes and highlighting stuff in a way to make it look good and for it to pop, not necessarily trying to do light direction. I'll do it a little bit, but not like to an extreme level. Because like if we base it off of what I did on the first one, like, or the second one, correction, like this has highlights in low spots and high spots. Like I just kind of went off on vibes to make it pop without any real like light source direction. So I'm more like volumetrically highlighting instead of like light source highlighting, if that makes sense. So the high point of a shape is going to have the most or the brightest spots on it. A lot of texture there. Wonderful. recipe so far hasn't really failed me, so I am excited to get these done so that I can move to other models. Like once we get the current work in progress Infinity models finished, I'm going to probably jump over to either D&D miniatures that need to be painted, or my Warcrow box, my other Corvus Belli game that I don't even know how to play yet. So we have this model to finish, and then those two little robots that I think I've had out on previous streams. And those are all my current work in progress models for my Infinity army. But I might do a video showing like all of the models that I have, and then all the things that I have to work on. Because there is quite a few. Of course, I got like pre-order miniatures that I purchased a while ago. That was the one that we built last week. That was a pre-order model, or that we loosely built last week. I didn't fully finish cleaning it up. On the weekend streams, if I don't paint, I'll probably just like build models and stuff. So these are our other work in progress Infinity models. And once we get these guys done, we're gonna move over to probably Warcrow or D&D. But I'm not sure if I want to paint the D&D model on stream because I want it to be a big reveal when you guys have to fight that person. I want you guys to be like, oh, this model hit the table and now we know we have a big fight on our hands. They are really cool. This little mech bot is the one that ruined Skylar's day the first time we played Infinity, because it just sat on a high tower and shot at him constantly. I mean, it's if I do it on stream, it'll be a few particular streams in a row because I'm gonna take my time with it and make it look good. Problem is, if I ban you guys from watching the stream, I'm gonna have no viewers. So I don't know if I'm gonna end up painting it on stream. The ones that I will shoo you away for are the ones where I do like D&D prep. find my lack of people watching my stream hilarious, Katrina. Or Katrina, sorry. I'm gonna continue to get that wrong. And I'm not sorry. I mean, my prep process isn't anything too spectacular. It's more of like most of it is written out in a paper binder, like a paper notebook. The prep that I'm probably like gonna do for the stream is like map making and stuff like that. Like I have to do the underground hideout for the Myriad, and I do that on the computer. Right? I make all my maps online. Most of it's just like notes of like things that you're gonna encounter, roleplay conversations, city buildings. Like when you guys are going into a city or a town, the level of prep that I have to do, like I have to write out all the shops and their descriptions and the NPCs. Like that's most of what my prep is like coming up with NPCs, coming up with like items for you guys to buy when you're in stores, coming up with story beats, and interesting things that happen to you guys while you're in town. And then all that's just in a Word document. Now my Word documents are heavily organized. Like broken down by location and like all the shops and stuff are in a single document together. Like overarching world stuff for a city is in a different document. So like there's a lot of flipping back and forth between stuff. And like I should print it, but at the same time just work off the tablet while we play. And like I wish I had a big enough following that I could do D&D prep and stuff like that to where like I could shoo you guys away. Like go away. If your usernames are X, Y, or Z, this stream is not for you. But alas, I just a baby streamer. What I need to work on, probably over the weekend, is taking my VODs of previous streams and uploading them into like YouTube. But getting all that set up's a pain in the ass. I don't even do tables anymore. Like I used to do random tables, so I've flip-flopped around. So when I first started the campaign, I wasn't doing any random tables at all. I was just pre-writing out combat encounters that I thought would be fun or cool monsters for you guys to fight. And then at some point in time I switched from prepping encounters to doing the random encounter tables so that I didn't have to like scramble to prep monsters or encounters for you guys to fight. So I could sit down, do a bunch of prep the tables, and then when you guys rolled for a random encounter, or yeah, when you guys rolled for a random encounter, I just rolled on the table and fought a monster, which is how you ended up fighting 3 quotals. But that clearly wasn't working, so I've now gone back to the original method of like picking a few monsters for combat encounters and like prepping an actual like fun, interesting combat encounter. So like the combat encounter that you guys did with the Bone Nagas, that was a prepared combat encounter, not a random combat encounter. The combat encounter with the Longbow Hunters, prepared combat encounter, not random. So like I feel like prepared combat encounters are like the better route, where like you guys actually get to do cool, interesting things and fight cool, interesting monsters, not just wolves or bears or something. That's why I'm always constantly asking you guys, like, where are you guys going next? What are you doing? So that I can, like, come up with feasible, interesting combat encounters while you guys travel. And if you've noticed, we've kind of just stopped rolling for random encounters because you guys are a high enough level now to where random encounters don't really matter. They don't really happen. So, like, prepped combat encounters will give you guys more XP than just random ones. I don't know. It's a balance. And like every good DM, I'm making it up as I go. Even world stuff and like my lore, like you guys ask questions sometimes of like, I have an answer, I just don't have it written out. I haven't like thought about it hard enough to like have a good concise answer for you. Like for example, when he who shall not be named had joined the game and he started asking a bunch of questions about like my world and lore and stuff like that. I'm like, there are answers to this. I just don't have them written out, and I have to get back to you. I think so too, and I like prepared combat encounters that I'm sure you guys probably remember. At the beginning of the campaign, the lizard folk. That was prepared combat encounter. Prepared combat encounters would be like stuff that you encountered on the ship when you were traveling across the Lake of Grosia. I'm sorry, of Van Rovia, the Lake of Van Rovia. Let's see. The stuff with when you guys were in the swamp town, all those encounters, like of the things you were doing in the swamp, that was all prepared. I think probably the most work of like world building in towns is like shops and interesting things for you guys to do. So like with Oberlin having so many things and being such a big city, I've been prepping Oberlin for probably over a year. Like as soon as you guys got to the Osirian Empire, I've been prepping the town of Oberlin, or the city of Oberlin. So, I'm real, like, it's fun, like, prepping all that stuff and coming up with it, but it's time consuming. And you have to do it in pieces, otherwise you just burn out on it. The Prince's Tournament birthday, all of that was prepared encounters. And I appreciate that you feel the world is vast, because sometimes I feel like it's not, and it's really small, and like I feel like you guys seeing behind the curtain would take away the illusion of how big my world really is. I've actually seen quite a bit of Florida. And quite a bit of like wilderness and parts of Florida. But that's only because of, you guessed it, Boy Scouts. Sometimes I feel like Bilbo, beginning of Lord of the Rings, being like, I want to see mountains again, Gandalf. Like, mountains are just fun, pretty, cool weather. compare that to the vastness of my world. I mean, we've made size comparisons of like how big my world is, and in comparison to like real world scales. And I feel like you guys have seen a lot of like what my world has in it. You guys have traveled around at least a third of the continent so far. I can definitely say that I have not seen that much of Florida. Well, I mean, you've probably seen maybe a half to 2/3. Like, you guys have seen a lot of my world so far. Like, in comparison to the other continent that I have written in my world, the one that you guys are on is considerably smaller by comparison. I mean, think about the major cities, the number of major cities that you guys have been to. 3, right? You've been to Garth, you've been to Soria, and now you've been to Oberland. The number of major cities on my continent are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only like 6, maybe 7. Build a world for creative endeavors, and it isn't close to any of this. It, like I said, it is a lot of work. And like, if you're just doing it for like writing and stuff like that, to like write a story in, I imagine it's probably a lot harder. But like, I guess the creative writing club and stuff like that when I was in college really helped push me toward like expanding my world. You also got to remember, I've been working on this universe and this story since our group started playing D&D. Like, when we started playing D&D, it was me, Savannah, Skylar, and he who shall not be named. And like, after that first campaign was over, I have been working on this world. I've been working on the story, and like expanding upon like that first campaign as a universe. So let's see. I'm trying to think about what year was that? Like 2015, 2016 is when we started like playing D&D. So nearly a decade. I would honestly like at some point like create a document or like a book or something like that online for my campaign, but I don't know if the world is compelling enough to like create a book on it. Also, there's a lot of like copyrighted names and all sorts of other issues that like if I were to try to produce it, I would probably run into like legal problems. But also the 5e SRD stuff like allows you to use things for like your own universe. Like I don't know. I would have to consult other like people and experts and stuff like that to figure out if that's even possible to do. I'd rather just like put homebrew content that like I've created out up on like DM's Guild. I don't remember when we started. It could be 10, it could be 9. Also, it all depends on like when we finished that first campaign. Because then Savannah ran hers, and when Skylar, or when Savannah's like fell apart and from COVID, and then Skylar attempted his like little one shot. DM'd for like 2 or 3 sessions and was like, nah, this ain't for me. And then I was asked like, well, Mike, are you ready to run? I said, no, not yet. Like I didn't have a story figured out. I didn't have the world very fleshed out. And after COVID, or like when Savannah's campaign fell apart from COVID, I was ready to start, but I didn't have a lot of the world stuff. What the frick? I didn't have a lot of the world stuff figured out yet, or like setting. I had a story. I knew where you guys were gonna start, and like how I was going to expand on it from there. But like at the beginning of the campaign, I didn't know where you guys were gonna go. Right? Like I wasn't expecting for you guys to latch on to the kid and the Bella Wolves and that was the direction you guys chose, and I just went with it. Oh, I mean, you were 100% going to get invited back. I'm glad that there were certain people that were playing in it that didn't get, that like weren't around. There were definitely people that like I wasn't going to invite to the campaign when I ran it. And I made that like pretty clear and upfront with Savannah when it seemed like her campaign was winding down or we were running into issues. Also, like not playing at a game store and then playing at like people's apartments and houses like really changed like who was going to be invited to play. Trevor was not the kid's name. The kid's name was Tristan. Tristan Rune Whisper. You were close though. I mean, I feel like you don't need to remember his name, just remember the potential. That was the nickname you guys coined for him. That's funny. What movie is that? Main protagonist? I don't think I know a movie where the main protagonist's name is Tristan. I think we're ready to move up to the ice yellow. Before I do that, I'm gonna paint her face. Oh, Stardust. I forgot that was the main character. That's a great movie. Um, Man, I have a really shitty selection of skin tone paints. Yeah, it feels very D&D, that's for sure. Like, can you imagine how much different our campaign would have ended up if you guys had chosen the one of the other two options I had for a campaign? I was so not prepared for you guys to pick anything but the one that you guys are playing in, but I wanted to leave it open for you guys to choose. Do I have space for paints? Yeah, I've got space for paints. I'm slowly running out of space for paints, but I still have some room for new paints. I had to upgrade the setup on my desk to fit new paints that I got for Christmas. So, do I have space for paints? Yes. Do I need more paints? I don't know, probably not. But also, I usually expand my paint collection when I'm doing a project and then realize that I don't have the right paints for it. Ooh, that needs to be thinner. Or I just wait until like people gift me paint. You're right, Yusha wouldn't be the Flower Crown King he is today. He might be a completely different king. Right, because when we started the campaign, I gave you guys three options. I said I've got a classic dungeon crawler campaign that technically isn't finished yet. I have your traditional like hero's adventure campaign, which I had the most prepared for. And then I had the airship campaign, which I had the start of, but didn't really have like a full story written out for it yet. I just kind of had like how I was gonna start it, and I was gonna work on it from like as we went. And thankfully, you guys chose the Hero's Adventure campaign. I don't know what I would have, what our campaign would look like if I hadn't, if you guys hadn't. there definitely probably would be like probably been more breaks in the beginning while I prep things. But also there was a good number of breaks in the beginning when we first started playing because I needed to prep things. And then we started running Savannah's campaign and Tangent to mine. And it kind of worked out. With the two of us alternating the way we do, I feel like it gives both me and her ample time to prepare things. Huh. Not 80 levels, just 20. Yeah, I was really annoyed when Wizards of the Coast was like, we're going to release a 20 level dungeon crawler. I'm like, oh, cool. So I started this for nothing. I still think mine might be a little better, but that's very orange. That's a little better. I mean, there was a period in time in the current campaign where, like, I gave you guys the option, like, listen, if you guys want to pursue when you guys went to Rimdale and then you went through the Cult of the Scaled Shadow, I'm like, if you guys want to pursue this person, like, it basically creates a tangent from our current campaign. I'm like, we can do it, but it will definitely change a lot of things, like ramifications for in the world and stuff like that. Wow, her skin is awful right now. God, I can't imagine trying to write and stock a 80 level dungeon. That sounds terrible. Also, the level of like sharp angles on this model's face is wild. Like super sharp cheekbones. Really strong chin. This is like one of the most. I don't know if this is a male character or a female character. This might be a male character now that I like am looking harder at the model itself. He's got long hair though. Wild. Dungeon Meishi? I don't know what that is. Is that an anime? It sounds like an anime. What time is it? 8:50.
8:50.
Yep. So what are we? Hour and a half in? Just about. Why is my phone being stupid? I will warn you, episode 12 and 13 is a little graphic. I mean, listen. There is no anime more graphic than the end of Berserk. So, like, like, are we talking Berserk or are we talking, like, Elfen Lied? Delicious in Dungeon is a great show. I really enjoy that. Honestly, I wish someone would convert Aincrad, the first season of Sword Art Online, into like a multi-level dungeon. I would personally play through that because that sounds super fun. Blood drops crawling back to its origin. Oh, that's nothing. The beginning of Elven Lied, people are being like mutilated and ripped to shreds, and there's blood spraying everywhere. So like, that's nothing as far as graphicness. Like blood droplets animating and crawling back to their owner. Meh. I gotta change my paint water. I'll be right back. Okay. I gotta figure out what color I want to paint her hair, or paint the hair. So the last one we painted the hair brown, and on the very first one we painted blonde. I don't know what I want to do about the hair on this one. Maybe do like an auburn, like a reddish brown. That paint is on its last legs. Also, I don't know if you have noticed or not, but I have decided to make a change in that we are not going to run ads during the stream. And I'm just going to rely on subscribers. And that's it. So, if you enjoy the stream, please consider subscribing. If you have an Amazon Prime membership, you get one month free to any channel of your choosing with your Amazon Prime subscription. So it costs you nothing and supports the channel. You saw an ad at the start and have seen a few banner ads. Interesting. All of that should be turned off. Disable pre-roll, stream display ads. Disable. Okay. So there was a setting that looks like I missed. And hopefully you shouldn't get any more in the future. For hopefully the rest of the stream. I don't know if it works, if it's going to stay on for the rest of the stream and then be turned off on the next one or not. But I want to just keep ads off. And keep everything to subscribers. There will be no subscriber only chat. And all subscriber revenue will go toward improving the channel, whether that's getting you guys emotes or badges or improving the camera for miniature painting. Everything is going to go back into the stream. Potentially, but also like I said, I found a setting that looks like it didn't get turned off. And if it gets to the point where like I get enough views here on Twitch and people don't want to subscribe to the Twitch channel, which I can completely understand because Twitch is owned by Amazon, and if you don't want to support Amazon, I get not spending money on Twitch. Then I might consider like starting a Patreon for the stream and stuff itself and stuff like that. But that's all like future goals. I gotta get the YouTube channel set up. wonder if I should have done the worm. Oh, well, we're experimenting. We'll find out. See how this looks. That's still very red. That might be like highlight colors. I'll watch so many reruns on your YouTube. I mean, hey, that's like that's really all YouTube is gonna end up being. YouTube will be like an archive for the Twitch stream and potentially like the shorts. But I fully intend for YouTube to just be the place that like people find the stream on YouTube after from the algorithm, and then it directs them to the Twitch stream. That's watery pink, and the red isn't doing anything with it. This brown is just overtaking it. Maybe not. I need to mix all of it in now. I guess those two colors are different. So that's fine, we'll work off of this. That's so much paint. I almost don't want to lose what I have here. That just looks red. I might have to do some more work there. I'm definitely going to need a better brush to do the highlights on that. Oh, goodness. Bring up the collar here. The nuts from the hair. Well, let's see if we can get this armor to pop a little bit. sets up where all my highlights are and how big they are, like, and how yellow things get. So like I have a tendency to want to keep the lines like thin so that I can still keep the richness of color of everything underneath. But I also don't want the highlights to be so small that you're just like, well, is the armor orange or is it yellow? And for some of this, yeah, the magic step is about to happen, but I'm taking more time this time around. Because this like is definitely like more prominent. I almost feel like there should be a secondary, like highlighting this, the shape of the leg armor is really weird. The bright side is I'm trying to do all of it at once, so like if you step away, you're not gonna miss the step where everything changes. I'm trying to do all the ice yellow first across all the different panels and then hit all of it all at once. And I think after we do the glaze of Scruffless Brown, I'm probably going to call the stream. But once I get all this mapped out, it's going to go real fast. But I'm fighting my paint a little bit here because I guess there's some texture on my model, which tends to make the paint not go on very smooth. It's more like the paint is fighting me. It also might be my brush. I need to ditch these brushes. They're getting real old. because there's texture on the model. Right? The paint likes to misbehave when it's not smooth. Also, you know, sometimes it's just fun to fight inanimate objects. Like when I make my little toy soldiers fight the other guy's little toy soldiers. Build up this highlight and pain in the butt. Forgot to paint the edge of this. I'll fuck with the backpack later. This arm piece is gonna need a lot of work. I messed that up pretty hard right there. think all the armor panels are done and ready for the best part. Pull this out. Bring it down. That looks about right. That is too thick. There we go. Found it back. Found it again. I love seeing this change happen. No wonder. I think, yeah. So this is gonna end up being considerably brighter than what we did last week because I'm using a different yellow over top of the ice yellow. So last week the last time we did this, we used brown. Right, that's the scrollfulest brown that's over here. This time, no, yeah, I don't know. At this point, yeah, this is the scrollfulest brown. This is, let me see. Okay, so yeah, this is the fiendish yellow. So what we're using this time round is we're using fiendish yellow instead of the scrollfulest brown, which which is a little more orange. So this leans on more on the orange side, and this is going to lean more on the yellow side. But most of this stuff is like higher up and brighter. So yeah. So I'm going to finish the panels on this leg using the Scroll Plus Brown. And then the other parts of the model over here, I'm going to use the Fiendish Yellow because I want them to be a bit brighter. Which realistically, I could go. The Fiendish Yellow is the step after this. So maybe I'll just go around with the Scroll Plus Brown for the rest of this. Because this almost got too yellow. There's not an exact science here. We're making it up as we go. And this brush is on its last legs. Yeah, that's what we did. So on the last one, this one, the panels were done in Scroll Plus Brown first for the glaze over top of the ice yellow, and then the secondary highlight of ice yellow goes on with the Fiendish Yellow over top of that secondary highlight. See, now we're more orange than we were yellow. And creating that orange undertone. Ugh, tongue tied. Helps bring the yellow highlights up even higher. it's just slowly mixing in the other colors to create that smooth transition. Like there's almost none of that brown left by the time we get to this step, right? And these browns are they lean toward orange, so using them to get to yellow isn't too far of a stretch. And like a lot of the paints that I'm using are orange, right? So there you go. So Cavalry Brown. This is like an orange brown. And then an actual orange brown. And then yellow. And then another brown that's orange leaning. And then the ice yellow again. And then the fiendish yellow after that. So like this mix here is the basis for like the whole armor. And even this is like I've lost the plot quite a bit from this. Right? So like I'm still gonna need more rounds of highlight like ice yellow and then the glaze of another yellow on top. It's just progressively smaller and smaller highlights. To sell the effect. Also, I didn't discover this paint recipe. I went and I looked up the original box artist for these models, looked at his paint recipe for the armor, and then I've modified it a little bit because his original paint recipe didn't give me great results. But I like how my recipe has turned out. And like that was part of the reason why I was like something might have been omitted. Yeah, I mean, I didn't omit it. I just didn't do it in the same steps that he did. Or like I've modified some of the colors in certain steps. Because of like the way I paint and like what works for me, I've modified the what fits my paint style and like how I paint models. At least like when I'm trying to paint to like high detail level. And I chose this army because yellow, like ever since I started painting, like people are always like, yellow's the hardest color to paint. Yellow's the hardest color to paint. I was like, okay, bet. I liked the aesthetic of these models, but I also chose them for the fact that their armor was yellow. And I wanted to challenge myself to paint their yellow armor. And I think I'm doing a pretty decent job of it. One panel left. Nope, no. 2 or 3. Also, I'm probably going to tell that story about like why I chose this army a million times in the process of painting these guys. And so that I don't sound like a broken record, that's why I want to like paint part of it, jump to a different project, paint a different part of it, jump to a different project. About 10 o'clock. 2.5 hours. It's definitely gonna need some more work, but I'd say that's pretty solid progress for an evening of painting. So I think we're gonna call it here. I'd say that's pretty table ready. If I were to take it to a game, I wouldn't feel ashamed of putting this on the table, even though it's a work in progress. Let's see. Stupid camera not in focus. Camera control. There she is. Or he. I don't know. I can't tell if this is a male or female sculpt. Probably a dude. But from all the pictures that I saw when I first like got the kit and the models, I could have sworn they were all female characters, but you never know. So I think this is a good stopping point. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day and a wonderful Friday. And don't forget to keep it weird. Thanks, guys.